Got some good times knocking upon your front door. It's the Richard Wilmore Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Richard Wilmore.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Richard Wilmore Show. If this is Winnie, say hi. She was crying down there earlier, so I had to bring her up here. Thank you for watching. If you are watching and loving it, make sure that you like the show, share the show, subscribe to the show on YouTube. It helps support us and means a lot to me. And if you'd love to become a coffee sponsor, I would love it even more. You can go to buymeacoffee.com/Rich Wilmore Show, and literally for the price of a coffee, you can help do all kinds of fun stuff for this show, including when we give stuff away, we have to send stuff, and it helps offset those costs. But this cat is going to drive me insane. So I put the link right there in the comments. If you'd like to become a coffee sponsor, that would be amazing. Hey, I have huge news. Starting May 3rd, we, the Richard Wilmore Show, can now be seen on television. You will not have to go to Facebook anymore or YouTube. You can, and I would like you to do that as well. But we have signed a deal with KP Media, and we will be available on Apple TV. We will be on Roku. We will be on Amazon Fire Stick. We will be an iTunes podcast starting May 3rd. They're going to be actually on the show next week to talk about everything that's going to be happening, and we're very excited to be teaming up with them, and I want to thank them for bringing the show to all of those platforms. I think it's going to be a great opportunity for us, and I'm excited to see what happens. So we'll be celebrating next week when we launch on Apple TV and Roku and Amazon Fire Stick with KP Media, so it's very exciting. What else do we have? We should probably give something away. Why not? We have sponsors from all over the country, and if you like the show or share the show or comment on the show or do anything really, then give it a thumbs down. You get put in our crown of giveaways. And these are all the names from this entire season. A ton of people have been supporting the show, and I thank them. And so I'm going to give something away. Here we go. Let me see. Kevin Toussaint, you win. Congratulations. I don't know why I always show this. You can't see it, but I get excited. Like I feel like I have to prove that someone won. So Kevin, congratulations. You win something great. And you'll see commercials all throughout the show of our sponsors, and you get to pick something and win something. What else do I have? Ooh, there's a really good podcast coming out this week. I host a podcast called Arts for the Health of It for a nonprofit here in San Antonio called Hearts Need Art that I work with. And Nick Fagan is the guest this week. The episodes come out on Wednesday on iTunes and Spotify and all of those things. He's an artist on the East Coast who uses art for all of his mental health issues and stuff like that. And I want to show you a little clip of his art studio, which this is the studio I want. But this is just a clip. It comes out on Wednesday. You can do it on wherever you listen to podcasts or YouTube. But take a look.
Yeah, totally. So this is kind of like where I make most of my work and stuff. It's kind of changing all the time, but here's a little 360 from my couch.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh. I love the mixed media. I love the 3D. Oh gosh, this is just so cool. And of course, I'm a huge fan of the crochet on your wall.
Oh, thank you.
All right, hopefully you saw that, because in the other monitor that I have here, it was just me staring at the camera watching the clip on the other monitor. So I hope you saw the clip of Nick and not me just like staring and watching that. I hope. But if not, so sorry. Go to YouTube and watch the interview that comes out. Arts for the Health of It. I will throw up right now the link. This is what happens when you do all this yourself. I'm going to do that. There you go. Boom. There. go watch Arts for the Health of It. It's a great podcast. And so Nick's studio is amazing. We also have big news here at the show. Our 5th season, which will start August 29th on the 5th anniversary of the Richard Wilmore Show, is moving out of this bedroom. There will never be another cat on this show again. And we will be moving to the Urban Collective starting in June. We'll be filming stuff starting in June. We'll be moving out. We're literally right now in the corner of my bedroom. And we'll be moving out of here and into a studio with Max, who does the, who's my friend, the photographer, who you see all the pictures of me in the intro and the outro. He does our Bean There, Drank That coffee segment. We'll be sharing a space with him, and we're really looking forward to kind of that joint photography, videography, talk show. It's going to be a really great space. So look for that starting August 29th. Speaking of coffee, I love coffee. And we're going to take a little trip to a coffee truck here in San Antonio called Southbound Coffee. It's the cutest little thing you'll ever see in your entire life. And I want to show you the owner, introduce you to the owner, and introduce you to some great coffee. So we're going to take a look at Southbound Coffee, and then we will be back with Eric Christiansen in a moment. At Southbound Coffee. Your little coffee truck is the cutest thing I have ever seen in my entire life. Like inside and outside. You have a whole thing going on here.
Thank you.
It's like a little compact little bug. How did you come up with this?
I want something that's going to stand out. I want something that reflects me and my personality. And of course it's woman owned, so I just kind of wanted to reflect that.
And how long ago was this? When did this start?
So I opened in April of 2019. So this coming April will be 2 years. And it's just been growing tremendously, honestly, from going from like not knowing a thing literally to where we are now. I'm just really grateful.
I love it. And you're in a new location.
Yes, that's correct.
At the corner lot. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Everybody, where you're located and what your hours are.
Okay, so we are located at 103 Carl Avenue. It's on the corner lot on Carl. So it's off Provent and Highway 90. And it's directly in front of the Bill Millers. My hours are Tuesday through Sunday. We are open from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m.
And what's your favorite drink that you have?
I love the dulce de nuez. Pecan, brown sugar, and a little bit of cinnamon. It is my favorite as a warm drink, but you can do it iced as well.
I love it. And bonus, vegan treats from Miss Chickies again. All right, thank you. I already got my coffee. It's delicious. If there's a coffee spot you want me to go to, tag us in the comments right here and tell me where I should go next week. We will see you next week. All right, yes, Jackie, no more cat. That is the goal, yes. All right, let's bring out Eric. I don't understand why there's one screen has one thing and one thing has the other. So I'm going to bring Eric out, and we're going to... Hi, Eric. Good morning.
Hey, Richard. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. I'm loving it. I missed the cat already, though. Where did Winnie go?
You can take her. I will box her up and ship her to you as soon as this show is over. You will probably hear her crying in a second, and then she'll come back up and cause destruction.
Great.
It's really, really fun. I want to talk about your movie right away that's coming out in September, Unmasking Hope. Can you tell everybody about that?
Unmasking Hope is a documentary, and it's the fourth in, I guess you would say, it's a spiritual cousin of my other three films. I've been working in the industry since I've been about 13 years old or so. But I've done personal films, and my personal films have to deal with trauma recovery and the hope following traumas. And Unmasking Hope is just it's a logical progression from my first film was Faces in the Fire. It was about surviving a disaster. Second film was Homecoming, a Vietnam vet's journey, and that was about the journey of the Vietnam vets based on a motorcycle ride across the United States and their catharsis at the wall and the healing after that war. And then Searching for Home, Coming Back from War, another veterans film about vets of all different wars and ages healing after wartime. And so Unmasking Hope is a broader film about trauma, and it has 9/11 survivors, mass shooting survivors, sexual trauma survivors, first responders, and it's all about them finding hope and healing after their trauma.
So at 13, what were you doing at 13 in the industry?
I was a PA, and I made my first movies at 8 years old, and then I started working professionally around 13 or so, and I was a production assistant and gopher and things like that, and I always made my own films. I have my very first Super 8 camera here in my office, and I shot on film and cut it on the little film and did the whole thing.
Wow.
So it's been my passion, and then now it's my calling.
Yeah. Why documentaries as opposed to writing and directing a feature film?
Although I do have a feature film that I'm developing right now based on one of my documentaries, but that's a great question. Documentaries, I'm an empath, and I'm very interested in the journey of other souls, and especially being able to be of service to other people and show a path to healing in seemingly difficult situations, like severe trauma, PTS, and all sorts of other related mental illness kind of issues that come along with trauma.
How is that for you to be involved in that? Because it's nonfiction, and these are real people that you're talking to and filming, and these are their real stories, and that has to be so hard to kind of ingest and to digest for you, and not get too involved in it.
That's a great question. And, over this I've been doing this for 30 years. Over this last 30 years, I've had to learn how to debrief and deconnect, basically, with the subject matter. But, and that's been a journey in itself. But it really, as I said, it is my calling to go and do this. So when I see the healing, and I see, my last film, Searching for Home, Coming Back from War, which is on iTunes, it was seen by over 12 million people. And when I see and I hear the stories of the healing that follows after people have seen the film, it's my soul food. So that really overcomes any sort of other detriment, I guess, to making the film. But it is very difficult to walk through this. But I'm in recovery myself, and being able to do what I do, is just it's a huge honor.
Yeah, because it's that all you need is that one person to connect to, and then it's worth it.
That's exactly what I tell my crew. I said, if we affect one person, and the amazing part is the participants in the film, they're the first people that really experience the healing.
Yeah.
In my films, I've been able to, and it's just not the films, it's my personal life. I've been able to walk with Vietnam vets to the wall in Washington, D.C., the Vietnam Memorial, and accompany them there. And then I've been able to take 9/11 survivors and first responders back to their memorial. Then just recently, we took two Route 91 mass shooting survivors back to Vegas to the Route 91 memorial. And the biggest compliment I got after that was the Route 91 survivor said, I didn't even know the cameras were there, and it changed their life. And so that's, who gets to do that?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's a real privilege.
Well, and we were talking about all you have to do is connect with one person, but you have won 7 Emmy Awards for your work. What's that like? How does that feel?
How that feels? it feels like I'd love to make those into money.
Yeah.
No, no. It's there was a time in my life, and those were early in my career, and my film Faces in the Fire won one of those Emmy Awards, and it's a huge honor. But now, like, what's really important to me is the amount of people that are able to view my films.
Mm-hmm.
And getting the films out there to the biggest audience. And we were very successful with Searching for Home, Coming Back for More. And with Unmasking Hope, we're very much set up with our distributor and everything for another really big premiere and run for that film. So that, you know, it feels great, but you know, my main mission now is getting the message of healing out.
Yeah, I think, and if that's like the path you're following, it's not Emmys and money, and it's getting the word out. I think that's where the authenticity comes in.
Yeah, and you know, I honestly, you know, I still have what you would call, you know, my day job, and I keep making my films no matter what, and you know, and it affects millions. So it's pretty amazing.
I was reading I was going through your bio and your website, and I loved the quote, "healing before filmmaking."
You know, and that's something I tell all my crew members is when we go on, I don't like to be necessarily called a filmmaker. To me, a filmmaker has an idea, and this is what he's going to document. This is the film he's going to make, and he goes out in the field and he bends things to this idea. With my crew, and when we go out, what we're trying to do is really capture somebody's journey and their soul journey of healing. And then, so number one, we have to be really transparent and create a very special atmosphere where they can express themselves, and I can connect as an empath with them, and we can get really into the, you know, those things that they haven't told anybody else. And I've been honored to be able to be, I don't know how many times my interviewees have said, you know, I've only told this to one other person, which is usually their therapist, and or they haven't told it to anybody else. So it's a real honor to be able to go out and connect that way and do that kind of work. And then, oh, by the way, we're also making a film, you know, which is it almost becomes a secondary kind of activity as opposed to connecting with these people, validating them by hearing their story and connecting with them on a really real level.
Yeah, just having someone listen to them and having someone, yeah. How long does it take to, like, what's the average to make a documentary? Is it longer than a regular film? Is it shorter?
Oh my gosh, I'm laughing. My film Searching for Home took 8 years.
Wow.
A lot of that is because, you know, funding is very difficult. And Searching for Home was right in the middle of the 2008 bubble when that burst. And then all the underwriting dropped out at that time. And so we really struggled to get the funding. But, you know, God's on our side quite often with our work, and he just pushes things into things happening. And you know, it's funny with Unmasking Hope, I thought, okay, after an 8-year journey, I'd like to just do it like a little one-off, a 1 hour. It'll take about a year, etc. I had it all worked out. You know, we're going into the 3rd year, and now I think I'm probably going to cut it into a feature. Wow. So
is there ever, like, in an 8-year making a film, are you like, I think this needs to stop? Like, is there ever a moment where you're like, this is too much work, this is not, like, or do you just, that's why it takes 8 years, because you figure it out?
And there's quite a number of those, and that's the thing. It's the people that stick with their vision and keep pushing that, you know, that succeed. And you know, yes, there's quite a number of those. Even with Unmasking Hope, just with 3 years, it's like I look at this and I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotten myself into this situation again.
But you have a release date for Unmasking Hope.
You know, which is very interesting because we've let that release date go. That was we were going to release on the 20th anniversary of 9/11, and quite frankly, my publicist and our distributor said, it's going to be so crowded then, and your film is not a 9/11 film, even though there are 9/11 survivors. It's about overcoming and hope. And so we've let that date go, and then letting that date go, we've just stretched out a little bit longer. And it'll probably be sometime in 2022 that we're looking at now. So and again, I'm probably going to cut it into a feature first, because we have
check back
so
in
much
with you
material.
in 2022 and see where you're at, to see if it's 2023. And we'll just, every year we'll check in with you to see where you are in the process.
Well, we'll be coming back to you once we have this thing cut, and we'll be like, okay, let's do a little promo here.
Yes,
so.
Please. You did send along a clip of it.
Yes, I did.
Great. I'd love to play it. Take a look at Unmasking Hope.
It was my 1-year anniversary at Morgan Stanley in 2 World Trade Center, and so I was excited for September 11th. I didn't even hear the plane approaching.
Getting blown up for the first time, that's when I think it really hit me, where I was like, what am I doing here?
We were in trouble. I told dispatch we needed help. All of a sudden, a bottle broke. I don't know what happened after that.
So what we wanted to do was line ourselves up with the canopy of Tower 2 so that when the people were jumping, we wouldn't get hit by one of the jumpers.
You should not expect to live the whole life without being traumatized. It is there just waiting for you.
I was assaulted by a fellow soldier in the middle of Iraq.
Things just turned inside out, like it sucked something out of me.
We weren't expecting the buildings to come down, so we had no respiratory protection. They said that the air was safe down there. Don't worry about it.
I had nightmares and trembling and panic attacks. I deserved that because I survived and other people didn't.
Just imagine literally not leaving your house for 2 years.
Very few people commit suicide feeling connected with others.
I haven't worn this helmet or the jacket since 9/11. We've lost more rescue and recovery workers post 9/11 than we did on 9/11.
Several of the girls were talking about how they were assaulted. I was just like that.
One of the most powerful healing elements is when people come to realize they're not alone, they're not the only one.
I eventually started using theater as my therapy.
Fathers, mothers.
It's a controllable mask that I'll put on while I'm on stage, except I can take it off.
It is something that's always in the back of your mind, worrying about what disease you may come down with next.
I realized that I wanted to dig into this creativity again. I think what I'm trying to paint is, who would I be? Or who can I be? Who would I have been?
I've come so far from where I used to be. There's always hope. And I'm going to find a way to get to it.
Wow, that's pretty good. I'm sorry,
Is
this
that the first
is
time
because
you've seen it?
no, I haven't seen it in so long. I mean, literally, I'm in the middle of like hundreds of hours of footage right now, so I'm only seeing I'm seeing huge fields of footage, literally, and it's neat to see it all kind of crunched down again.
I hope it's not much longer than 2022, because I think it's a very important piece of work that needs to be out there.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
final question for you. Why do you think it's important for people to tell their stories?
Oh my gosh. You know, in my films, it works on 2 different levels. And the first level is, well, there's 3 levels. It's for the individual to be able to tell their story, and it validates have the camera there and to tell their story, it validates what happened to them. A lot of times when you went through severe trauma, you're in your denial, you have a survivor's guilt, you're like, mine isn't as bad as somebody else's. And to be able to tell your story, it validates that your experience and having somebody else interested in it. Then the second phase of that becomes when that ends up airing and people see it, and then they're inspired by that individual's story, and they come up to that individual and go, you know, gosh, I had no idea that people could go through something like this and survive. It's really inspired me. And then that's the second piece to this. Mm-hmm. And then the third piece is when an individual is sitting there, and a lot of these people that have went through trauma are, isolate, and they don't talk about it. And they see somebody else telling their story, and what used to be unconnected, they're all of a sudden connecting with somebody. And then hopefully that is, it instigates some healing and them to see the path that those people have taken and reach out to get help. Yeah. So there's a lot of different facets to the individual telling their story, and it's a blooming of healing. It's really neat to see.
I truly hope you come back when the film is ready to come out, because I would love to promote it as much as I can. I think it's great.
I appreciate it, and I love the show and the format, and I love this time. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you, Eric Christiansen, everyone. I'm Asking Hope. I put the link to the Facebook page for the film in the comments, and we will be right back with Wendy Wright after this. Thanks, Eric.
Thank you.
Balls. Funny name, serious plant power, healthy whole food goodness in one single bite. Wineria SA. Let's enjoy some great vino together. Let's do a virtual wine tasting, enjoy exclusive artisan wines, and join the club. Neon Castaway. Handmade accessories for a colorful life. Teenis. Handcrafted, farm to cup, organic, quality. The Classic Theater, creating excellent theater in San Antonio, Texas that is relevant, diverse, entertaining, and transformative.
Oh, good morning, Wendy.
Hello, Mr. Richard. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. And
yes,
I just wanted, Eric, your work looks amazing.
Right?
What a special man and work that he's doing.
This is why I love this show. I would never in a million years have been able to meet and talk to Eric Christiansen and learn about things and show people, and here we are.
Yeah. Pretty awesome.
And then we get to talk to you as well. It's a great day around here at the Richard Wilmore Show.
Woo!
Cats or no cats. Are you able to see all the clips and all the things that I'm playing?
Yes, I've seen everything. So.
All right, great. Because it's very strange. I don't know what's going on. Wendy is a personal stylist. She's a makeup guru. She's an everything. And that necklace you're wearing, if we can get can you move in and show people that necklace? Because
my mom gave it to me, Richard, a couple years ago. Is that helping?
Yeah, I'm gonna go closer. That's gonna help me.
Can you see? There you go. It reminds me of Sweet Tarts.
Yes. From the distance here, it looks like bubble gum.
Okay, it's close. Candy.
I love it.
Thank you.
Wendy is a favorite here on the show. She's here every month, and she brings favorite things. She brings all kinds of tips. And so my rule for this show is every week I try to improve something, like getting out of here so there aren't cats screwing everything up. That's coming. And we upgraded. One week we upgraded to HD here at StreamYard. And then I did the show, and I was like, oh my gosh, I look like I'm 107 years old. And if you're 107 and you're still rocking it, more power to you. But I am not 107 years old. And it turns out I look very tired on television. So Wendy is here, and she gave me a list of things to go buy. And for the first time in my entire life, I'm about to learn how to put makeup for television on in front of everyone. So this could either go really bad or really good. And we're about to find out.
Okay. Richie, we're going to keep it really simple, okay? Nothing nothing too involved. It'll feel involved to you because this is new.
Right.
But I heard through the grapevine that you bought a little concealer and some finishing powder.
Yes.
Okay. So, Richie and people maybe at home that just want to feel a little bit more awake, because you maybe, like you said, you look in the mirror and just feel tired.
Yes.
Richie, when you do that, I don't know how close you can get. Now, are you going to be able to see to do this?
Sure. Yeah, I have two monitors. One's bigger than the other, so we'll see what happens.
Okay, very good. So, I don't know, with your glasses,
Should I take them off?
take them off. So, when you look in the mirror and you said that you feel tired, where are you seeing that or feeling it?
So when I look here, like if I watch the show or I get up close, it's here.
Yes.
And then it's, well, I mean, you like, look, it's like if my abs looked like this, it would be really fun and I would be a happier person. But instead, it's my forehead. That's. Like,
well, you're also scrunching up, so.
No, this is just me. This is just me.
What I just noticed that you're a little red.
Yes, that was on accident.
I know. Well, we're going to talk about that a little bit more. But the main thing you said was under the eyes.
Yes.
And that is exactly where most of us fight the tireds a bit. So I thought it'd be fun just to help you apply a little bit of concealer to brighten that up. Okay. And I heard you went shopping yesterday.
Yes.
And someone. This is. Perfect. Read that off to us, Richie.
It's a 16-hour camo concealer matte finish. She said it'll help with shine.
And matte is good for being on camera. If you're not on camera, you don't have to get matte. You could get something that might be a little bit more glowy, but that will help you keep the shine down. Now, because it's camo, my friend, it's probably a little bit thicker than some concealers. And I take it the associate helped you pick out a color yesterday.
She did.
Okay, very good. So we're going to go with it.
All right.
That can be tricky because typically you want to buy a concealer that's about a half to one shade lighter than your natural skin tone. And I guarantee you, I'm not great at it. I need help when I go. So if you go to an Ulta or a place like that, just ask someone to help you. Okay. So what I want you to do, Richie, you said you've washed your hands, right?
Yep.
Okay. So instead of just putting it on with the applicator real thick right now.
Am I supposed to shake this?
Not really.
Okay.
You shouldn't have to do it. Does it have a little spongy applicator?
I don't know. I never opened it.
Let's open it. And
some of us should be. It does.
Okay, very good. So instead of just right now dabbing that on your eye or under your eye, that you wash your hands, I want you to put a little bit, because it's going to be thicker, right here on your hand. Just kind of get some of that product there.
Okay.
Okay. Then I want you to take your ring finger. Okay.
Okay.
And
just
putting
this down? Yes.
Yeah, put that back. Put the applicator back in the product.
My ring finger.
Your ring finger. Because it's supposedly one of the weaker fingers, and we don't want to tug that under eye area.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Richie. So most of us get the darkest right in the corner, almost by your tear duct.
Okay.
And what I want you to do is lightly dab some of that concealer in the inner corner. Just kind of pat it in.
This is a really good view. Boy, I can't imagine how many millions of people are going to watch me do this.
Yes, they are. And then, buddy, just kind of come down into the area where you feel a little darkness and just pat with that ring finger so that you're not rubbing it. Patting it kind of pushes it into the skin to help it melt a little bit. Now, are you starting to see a difference yet?
No.
I know you have to get really close.
No,
and I want you to get up closer to the eyelash line, but not necessarily in it. And just gently pat.
Like how much? Like
you know what? You have to kind of be the judge of that. I would always start light and then layer on if you need to. Just add on. Go up a teeny bit higher. We're going to use your foundation brush. momentarily and just pat that in. Now start patting it down past a little bit down here because we're trying to avoid raccoon eyes, right?
We don't want that.
And Richie, if you have any extra, like I know my eyelids, when I wake up in the morning, they're always red. That's one of the areas where, besides the like way extra baggage that I carry, that all the concealer in the world will not rectify. Only surgery would do that. But besides that, I'm always so red, and I like to put a little concealer on my eyelids to even out the skin tone.
Oh.
So if you have any extra, just kind of pat it into your eyelid and just even out that skin tone.
Which I did. Okay, I did it with this.
Let's do this. I know it's weird on camera, isn't it? There you go. And I don't want you to do the other side because we want to see if there's a difference.
I'll take a picture then after the show.
Okay. Yeah, and really pat that in. And if you can see product, I want you to
wrong, right?
No, not wrong. We just need to blend it a little bit more.
Okay.
So what we're going to do, you have I believe a foundation or a concealer type brush.
This little guy.
That little, it's real. No, that's perfect.
Tiny. Okay.
That is perfect. I want you to take that and gently kind of just dab where you put the concealer with your finger. Because we're trying to still just pat it in. And then Richie, gently just kind of blend it down into the top of your cheek a little bit, up onto the bridge of your nose.
Oh.
Wherever you put it, just start gently blending it in.
Okay.
And then same thing on the top. Blend it in. Yeah, because you just don't want to have a big white circle.
Right, because you see that sometimes.
You do. And it's
like where their face is one color and then it looks like they were wearing sunglasses and got a sunburn and it's super bright right around their faces.
Yes, that's what we're trying to avoid.
Right. All right.
Okay.
I feel like this side looks different down here.
In a good way?
Yeah, in a good way. Like it looks it looks smoother.
Okay, perfect. Then your attendant picked out a good concealer for you. And can you see how you could just, if you felt like you needed more coverage, you could continue adding.
Right.
When you put too much on in the beginning, you don't have to worry about this. People maybe of my age do. If you've got some texture, what we like to call it, under your eyes, too much product is going to seep into that area and actually kind of defeat the purpose. It might brighten you, but then it might accentuate the texture wrinkles. Gotcha. So that's why it's important to really blend. For all of you that do have a little texture there. And I didn't bring it. I will take a Q-tip when I'm done, Richard, and I will just gently take that Q-tip and just kind of rub it over the area where I put concealer to get up any excess. I would just take my Q-tip and kind of go like this. And it really, really helps to get any excess product out of that area.
So as a newbie, because I don't know what I'm doing, what are I think you kind of told me what the essentials would be, but what should people kind of make sure they have?
I think what they need to do is when they look in the mirror, decide where they feel like they need a little help.
Okay.
Especially if you're kind of a minimalist and into very natural makeup. Maybe you have no dark circles, but you feel like you just need some brightening. You could do a tinted moisturizer that adds a little bit of color to your skin or evening out, and some blush and a beautiful lip balm. But I would say you're doing good. So once I think you're patting that in, then gently use your brush to even it out. You're doing such a great job. And Richie, there are things, there are color correctors that people can do. Like I have to color correct a little bit with my eye bags because it's not just dark circles. It's a bag that creates a shadow.
Oh.
And then it gets really complicated. I have not totally figured it out. Like I said, surgery is probably going to be the only corrector of that. But there are so many avenues you could take this, but you're adding more steps. So we're talking about just something simple.
Basics.
Yes, 90%, I'm sorry, 90% of people are going to probably want a little under eye concealer.
Just do what I just did.
Yes.
And if you want to do this not in front of people, Wendy does the same thing virtually on her website. You can sign up, correct?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You're doing it in front of me, but okay, I'll even do it with you. I can come.
Not on Facebook and YouTube and
not on far away.
Apple TV and
yes. Oh, but you're doing good.
All right, I feel like it looks better.
Excellent. So another thing that we had talked about prior because we needed to, but if you were to want to for TV correct any other issue you might have going on, what might it be, Mr. Richard?
Well, so it was that, but like the first thing I've always noticed is my large forehead is its own light. And I'm very like a lot of lights in front of me and it's very, so you see it.
I see shine.
Yes, shine.
I don't see a very large forehead. I see a red forehead because it got sunburnt yesterday.
Yes, thank you to Texas and accidentally being outside.
Can we just talk about that real quick?
Yeah.
I know that you have a sunscreen.
Yes.
And I know it's separate from your moisturizer.
Yeah.
So Richie, what I would say before you even go buy any other product, do you use your moisturizer every day?
Yes.
Okay. So continue to do that, my friend. But then after, you don't even really have to wait that long, but you could wait a minute or two. Then put that sunscreen on over your moisturizer.
Okay.
Every day, maybe even down onto your neck. But that way you'll get some protection. I know you were out for a while yesterday.
So then when I go, like, let's say my bottle is gone and I go to get another one, should I find just a lotion with an SPF in it so I'm not like doubling up?
If you know what, I know you love vegan products. If you can find that, that's fantastic. It totally depends on what products you love and how much time and effort you want to put into it.
Okay.
And another thing for people, they could also buy a tinted moisturizer, meaning it's got a little bit of foundation in it with an SPF.
Okay.
Okay, like this is one of my favorite companies, Paula's Choice. This is a super light wrinkle defense SPF 30 broad spectrum, and it's got a little bit of tint to it.
Okay.
So for the minimalists out there, that's kind of 3 steps in one.
That's what I need.
Okay.
We also got powder.
Okay.
For this, right? And so then I'm Marco Poloing with Wendy, and I'm like, I got all the stuff. I'm ready to go. And she goes, oh, does it have what is it called? The little poofy thing.
The powder puff or anything like that?
And I didn't open the package until 20 minutes before the show.
Well.
And I was like, well, it has to. Otherwise, the woman would have said, you also need this. And so I opened it, and there's absolutely nothing in here to apply it. So then I freaked out. And so I came up with, here are, I don't know if any of these are going to work. I'm just going to ask.
Okay.
Cotton balls.
We can try it. Absolutely.
All right.
What else you got?
I thought maybe a loofah. No,
that is, love it. Love your ideas and your creativity. No. That's just too big.
A cloth napkin.
It's just maybe a little bit too big, Richie, but keep that nearby. Keep that nearby.
Which one? The loofah?
The napkin.
Oh, okay. We're here. All right.
We might use that. Why don't you take your napkin? I don't want to give away my favorite thing. Richie, let me see again. How big is your foundation brush?
It's tiny.
Oh, that's a concealer brush. That is tiny. Okay, so let's take that cloth napkin.
Okay.
And I want you to go like this. Put 2 fingers into it, because we are improvising, adapting, and overcoming, aren't we,
what
my friend?
happens when a non-professional goes out and tries to be better.
Richie, is this a loose powder?
As opposed to a what?
Is it, meaning do you shake it, or is it in a compact?
No, it's in a, like, there's a little.
Oh,
like,
that's perfect. Okay, we're good. So yeah, get a little product in there, and then I want you to dip your napkin.
How do you get it? Oh, how are you supposed to get it out of here? Okay, well, whatever.
Can you turn it over a little bit?
Should I do that? Like close and turn it over?
You want to do that into the top. So, okay, look. You kind of dip it into the top.
This has like a thing in it.
Oh, you probably have a little protector that you have to peel off. Oh my goodness.
No, it's fine. Everything's fine. This is what I'm going to do. Okay, here we go. It's right here. It's in here. There it is.
There it is. Okay, take your napkin.
Okay.
Let's gently.
That's why real shows have rehearsals. I'm doing this.
We're going to dip that. Now just kind of wipe off any excess, pat it off. We don't want you to, be all, like we said, French courtesan of the century, I'm not sure about. And then I want you to gently just start patting that into your forehead. And let's see if that's going to work. We just don't want too much. Oh, I think that's working, Richie.
I was going to say, how do you know how much is too much?
You're going to either look pasty and white. If it's working, it's going to just kind of blend into your skin and take away some of the shine. Can you tell? I honestly can't tell.
I can't either. I feel like I don't have enough.
So get some more. In the meantime, I'm going to kind of show everyone what you need. Is that okay?
Yeah.
You keep working on that. Friends, this is a fluffy powder brush. So what you can do, and Richie, this is something that's kind of fun that I like to do. I have a finishing powder too. This is like a facial spray that's a setter that will set everything. So I like to spray my powder brush with that. You keep working, darling. And then I'm gonna
do that. How's that?
Oh, you're just, I'm not sure. We're not going to go by that today because I can't tell.
This is not a reflection of Wendy's abilities. It's a reflection of my abilities. Just so you know.
Michelle, are you watching? Do you feel for me? Okay, everyone saw that, but that's what you do. You tap it into your setting powder, translucent powder, make sure you get off any excess, and then just kind of bring it all over your face to kind of set and take away that shine.
So that's what I need? Is that
yes, that is what you need. And you'll love it. And get yourself a nice vegan spray.
Okay.
Because it just feels good.
Okay.
And that'll kind of set it in there and take away some of that shine.
Okay. I can definitely see that there's like, well, if I get really close, because it's literally like right there. But and that there's nothing that's going to really stop that. But I can see that it's different. I don't think this is like the best applicator because
it's not. The cotton balls might work. I don't know, Richie. You just have to try. You could try it on your cheeks right there, but just make sure it's not a ton.
I mean, at this point, what does it matter, you know?
See, the lights are shining, and I can't tell if that's just the lights reflecting or if it's big blobs of powder, but you can tell.
It's definitely, that's the light.
Okay, good.
Kind of. Wow, what a view. Okay. All right.
When you sit back, I can tell. When you lean in, the light's hitting you right there. I can't tell.
Yeah, and they're so close.
They're so, okay.
Yeah.
And then, just make sure you put it wherever, I'm sorry, shiny. And I'll shut up and let you talk.
No, it'll be, well, next week I'm going to do this before the show, and then we'll actually be able to tell because I'll know what I'm doing.
Beautiful.
But I definitely notice here.
Good.
My eyes. So
I think I can tell. I mean,
that makes me feel better.
Okay, good.
The real question is, how do I get this off?
Okay. Funny that you mentioned that. My favorite thing for today is this thing. This is called a Campanelli face cloth. Richard, you can get these online at Amazon. You can get them at not necessarily this brand, but versions. It's almost like a microfiber for your face. And it's great at removing makeup. And what you do, the beauty of these things is that you can wet them and you don't have to use a cleanser. Now,
that's what I was going to ask.
Can you use a cleanser? Absolutely, but you don't have to. It works with the water. And something like this would be fantastic for taking off that little bit of makeup you just put on. If you have heavy eye makeup on, you might need a little bit of cleanser, but these work remarkably well. TJ Maxx, the checkout line at DSW, they all have versions of these things, and they're really, really wonderful. They make small ones too, just like for your eyes.
So that is Wendy's favorite thing of the month.
Yes.
I love it. I'll get one of those this week, along with the powder brush.
Powder brush.
Next week, a brand new, the premiere of us on Apple TV I should be makeupped.
It's going to be incredible. And Richie, I do want to stress that it's really important that you do take your makeup off at night and moisturize again. You don't want to leave that stuff on your face.
Okay. I will do that, I promise.
Okay. Very good.
Wendy, we are out of time.
Excellent.
We were going to, next month, Wendy's going to come back. She'll be back one more time before our season finale.
Don't look.
And don't look at that. Why? What's happening there? Oh, we're
nothing. No.
Don't look. It's going to be really great. And I'll have to wear this shirt again to do what we were going to do. It's fine. Everything's fine.
It's all good. It's all good, babe.
Wendy Wright has a great line of virtual services on her website, therightfit.net. I threw her Facebook in the comments so you can like and follow her. She does great videos that are fun, and we love her here at the Richard Wilmore Show. And I thank you for jumping on today.
Love you, my friend. Thank you so much.
All right, I look like a completely different person thanks to Wendy Wright.
You do.
All right, well,
I don't recognize you.
Thank you. We'll be right. That's why my name's up here, so you remember who I am.
Thank you.
We'll be right back, everyone.
Lick Honest Ice Creams. Know what you're licking, y'all. Made in Austin, Texas since 2011. Unique flavors inspired by what's in season locally. Go Vegan San Antonio, a vegan comfort food truck located at The Block in San Antonio. Rebel Designs, handcrafted sterling silver jewelry designed by Shelley, inspired by nature. The Right Fit, style, makeup, and fitness, taking the stress out of getting dressed.
All right, that's the show. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Wendy. Make sure you check out the comments to look for the links for both of them and what they're doing. Go buy us a coffee, would you? And we will see you next week, everyone. Have a great week. Stay safe. I love you. Goodbye.
It's the Richard Wilmore Show.